Hey everybody, BK with Masada Tactical with another video, and today we're starting a new series where we're going to go and actually review events, incidents, videos, and give you guys our feedback. The video we're going to discuss today has to do with weapon retention, and it is an older video, but because we address so many people that carry a gun either professionally as in law enforcement or armed civilians who have their concealed carry permit, this becomes something that's super important for us to discuss and share. Reality is that if you carry a gun, you have to understand that every time you interact with another person, there's at least one gun presented into that potential fight, the one you brought on you. I want to make something clear: when we dissect these videos, it is never with the thought process of trying to criticize another person's behavior. I know nothing about their training, background, and arguably, they're doing the best that they can under a given situation. My goal is to indicate flaws that I see in the technique, in the move, in the situation, and hopefully you as the viewer can draw your own conclusions and lessons to keep yourself safe. Let's discuss this video real quick. In this video, we see an officer that is going into what seems to be an interview or interrogation room to uncuff or move an inmate that is waiting. There are some environmental issues that we have to account for that the officer probably had zero control over. For example, being placed in the corner, far away, stuck between a wall, a desk, and a chair, puts the officer in a position of disadvantage to begin with and forces him to have his weapon sight towards a potential assailant. We can see that the inmate takes that glance onto the gun. We have to remember that the criminal population, for the most part, has been training. In my years as instructors, I've witnessed many inmates in correctional facilities who have nothing but time actually use that flexibility and freedom to do whatever they want to train on how to overcome what law enforcement is training for. Knowing that the officer has a specific type of holster with a specific type of retention, we can see the suspect actually placing his hand in a position to manipulate that retention and try and draw the gun from the police officer. The officer actually responds pretty okay. The reality is that what he does, he places his pressure downwards onto the holster, keeping the gun in. And at that point, he counts on his teammates to come and assist him, which they do, utilizing a taser and just manpower to overcome that suspect, and all ends up okay. But what do you do if you're by yourself and you're carrying an actual concealable holster which has no other external retention mechanism other than tension? This pistol, if pulled, will come out, and you do not typically have additional resources as a team to go and support you. What can you do if somebody tries to grab your gun? When we discuss weapon retention, we have to understand that there's several variables we have to keep in mind. First of all, am I carrying concealed, or is the weapon openly carried, such as in the video with the law enforcement officer? Are there retention mechanisms on the actual holster? Understanding if I carry concealed, just the fact that I have a shirt draped over it automatically aids in concealment and retention, because the other person doesn't know that necessarily I have a pistol, and if they do, they have to work around my garment of concealment before they can reach it. Additional variables to consider are: is the weapon still holstered and I able to retain it before contact is made? Is the weapon holstered and I'm only able to address it once they already put a hand on it? Or is the weapon out of holster, as if I was already introducing it and then it's being grabbed and I need to retain it at that point? Obviously, we always have to think about the environment. Am I standing? Am I on the ground, inside, outside? And what is the surrounding environment like? So all those things have to come into play and into our thought process. Today, for purposes of sticking to what happened in the video, we're going to do weapon retention in the holster once contact is made. All right, so Curtis here is going to help me demonstrate the skill. Curtis is going to go and reach for my gun. Remember, we're doing weapon retention in the holster once contact is made. So I was behind the 8-ball a little bit, and Curtis reached over and was able to put a hand on my gun. Regardless of the type of holster you carry, whether you have retention mechanism on it or not, whether you're carrying inside the waistband or outside, whether you carry in the front side, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the pistol, in order to clear that holster, has to come back up. So to keep that skill universal, so it's not holster or pistol dependent, the skill is always going to address that upwards motion. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take both hands initially, put it on top of his hand, and drop my whole body weight down, making it really hard for him to try and pull that pistol out of the holster. At this point, there's something to be said for violence. He's trying to take a gun away from me, which I know is likely going to be used against me. So I'm going to become as violent as I can. Headbutt, punches, whatever I can while maintaining my base. If I come up, I'm actually alleviating pressure and facilitating Curtis' ability to draw my gun. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to strike and do whatever I need just to disrupt his brain process and distract him enough to where I can take a hand. It doesn't matter which one. I can switch hands as long as I maintain continuous pressure downwards on the pistol, and I am going to sweep across. Once I swept, I want to disengage, and I'm going to draw my pistol because this is a deadly force situation for me. Doesn't necessarily mean I shoot, but it means I'm ready and not giving the opportunity to grab my gun again. From a legal use of force standpoint, weapon retention is a deadly force situation. Statistically speaking, if somebody grabs your gun, they typically do it with the fire process of using it against you. Therefore, you should and can use any force you need to maintain that gun, to retain it and make sure you don't lose it. Hopefully, you never find yourself in that situation, but if you do, you have a tool that you can employ right now. I hope you found this video beneficial. Look forward to more videos where we take situations and draw lessons from them for you. As always, make sure to follow up on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And until next time, watch your six.